This is my collection. Well, some of it. The 1957 Atlas, the 1962 Chrome Dome, the 1940 Model B, the very first Dyson, the Cyclone. I bought it from James himself. The Decor Vac, which is actually a vacuum cleaner in a hassock. The wood grain Kenmore, the tandem air Kenmore, the Fairfax, the floating Hoover, the Halley's Comet, my mother's Electrolux, 1962. The Hoover Dial-O-Matic, which is the first hard body vacuum cleaner and the granddaddy of almost all vacuum cleaners made today, next to the blue Hoover Model 70. The Hoover Portable in orange. The gold-colored Eureka Princess to celebrate their 50th anniversary. The Lewitt Zapper, one of the first vacuum cleaners with a power nozzle. The company isn't here anymore because it killed people. I'll tell you sometime the story about it, but we call it the Zapper for a reason. Here's the airway that I designed for the Airway Company in the year 2001. It's called the Signature Series. They put my signature on the nameplate of the first 100 to make them collector's items. And this was the machine that was my inspiration, which is the 1937 Airway Sanitizer. The Apex Strato Cleaner is the most powerful vacuum cleaner that was ever built. 1955, 11 amps, one fan as big as a dinner plate. The GE Roll Easy. It doesn't. The Kenmore Commander Bullet. The Scott & Fetzer Vacuette Electric, the first electric vacuum cleaner from Scott & Fetzer. The Kirby 1C. The Westinghouse Handy Dandy. This is the model that was on the I Love Lucy show. The Compact with its power nozzle. That power head seems to be hard to find. You had to plug vacuum cleaners into a light socket because they were here before there were receptacles. Oh, the GE Swivel Top, one of my favorites. The Lewitt that copied the filter cone of the Filter Queen were sued for $3 million in 1951. The 1920 Airway, the first vacuum in the world with a disposable bag. The Dust Killer. The Wireless Vacuette, which was Jim Kirby's first product of the Scott & Fetzer Company. Some more non-electric pumper type. And the Bissell vacuum sweeper, because it also had bellows to create suction. The Electrolux, both hospital Model Gs. The first Electrolux, the Model 5, the 11, the 12, two Canadian models. My new in the box 1967 bronze Model G Electrolux. My Model L, it was used for 2 years and its original owner gave it to me when I was 8 years old, and I've had it in the box ever since. My aunt's automatic F. Framed some of the artwork. More non-electric vacuums. Some of the first vacuum cleaners in the world. The first Royal. The first Hoover weighed 65 pounds. The Hoover Baby, the Apex, the Sturtevant, the Torrington, made in Torrington, Connecticut. The Airway, the Apex Rotapex, Eureka, Regina, Columbus, the first General Electrics with rotating brushes. Hamilton Beach, another Hamilton Beach, the first Royal with a rotating brush, the Universal with a rotating brush. Then we get to the Hoover from 1933. The first vacuum cleaner, the Singer, that ever had a cord rewinder. Look at the Art Deco influence now starting on vacuums with their teardrop-shaped hoods. Definitely the 1930s, you can tell from the styling. There's headlights. On the General Electrics, the Montgomery Wards, which was really an Apex, Kenmore, which was really a Bertman, more Eurekas, Probably my favorite Airway, the first one with a power nozzle. 1935, the first dual motor vacuum cleaner ever. Then we get to the 1940s, you can tell with the Bakelite hoods. All 1940s before the war. After World War II, tank cleaners. The modern hygiene. The Rex Air, which is the rainbow. The Admiral, which is a Cadillac. The first filter queen, Model 200. A Universal, an Airway post-war, the box the Lewitt comes in. The Electrolux that would pop open and shoot the bag across the room. Hassocks had been invented for vacuum cleaners. We're now in the 50s. There's the 50s version of the Singer with the cord rewinder. Airway, Hoover, Filtex, General Electric, Kenmore, and Eureka. Ooh, look at the Kenmore on the cart. All the tools stayed with it all the time. There's the first Hoover Constellation. Did not float on air. Hoover Model 63. There's a Rex Air Model C. Kingston. Sears and their carts. More carts. Now we can drag our stuff with us. And here is a pink Lady Kenmore from 1956. The compacts, both the flat lid C4 and the C5. There's the Lewitt on big wheels. Who wore it better, the Kirby or Hillary Clinton? Remember, she had an overcoat made just like that bag. Ooh, we're now in the 1960s. Look at the Hoovers and the pink. Hamilton Beach with its laser eye and swivel top. There's Kenmores, Airways, some of my favorites, the General Electrics. This is by Kirby Dual 50. Sunbeams, the touch and lock on the left and the Courier on the right. A Shetland Lewitt. My Eureka collection, the hand vac, the stick vac, the Princess canister, and the upright. All from 1968. There's Kirby, Canadian Electrolux, Bison. Now we're in the 70s, Flower Power. On the Airway, on the Hoover, on the Kenmore, we had wood grain. We've got the 50th anniversary Electrolux on the left, and the Super J, which was 76, on the right. There's my brand new Kirby Classic 3, never been used. I paid $300 for it, cut grass all summer. There's a Singer with its power nozzle. The first edition of the Electrolux 1205. The Rainbow. I sold that model for 3 months and bought a brand new Trans Am in 1979. One of my favorite GE swivel tops and one of my favorite Eurekas. It has a power touch handle. You actually have to touch the switch in order to get it to run. Flower Power Compact. My Kirby Classic Omega. The compact shampooer, and now we're in the 1980s. Beautiful Royal Collection. Best power nozzle ever made. We call it the Manta Ray power nozzle. There's a Vorwerk. There's a self-propelled Hoover with a helpmate on it. My brand new, never used Kirby Heritage. The prototype TriStar that was never made. The all-chrome Handyway and my self-propelled Eurekas. Yes, ma'am. You need a pig. Dyson from England. Carpet shampooers that Sears sold to use the capture powder. One of the first Phantoms. That is the very first Dyson ever in America. Its serial number is 1. The copies from Eureka, from Hoover, Wind Tunnel 2, the Hoover Whisper, the Sanyo, which was horrible, electric power nozzle Dyson, the Ocean Blue, the Hyla, and the D3A Rainbow. Note that it has a 3-wire cord, the reverse color on the top, no slide valve guide, brown hose, 1980. And one of my favorite machines from the collection, the Halo. Had a ultraviolet light that shined down on the ground so that it would give this, the germs a suntan, even though it claimed to kill them. So this is some of my vacuum cleaners. The ones in the middle are my Hoovers. From the very first through the 1930s. All the various models. Hoovers used to have satin bags. The Singer with the backwards revolving brush. Premier's straight suction and revolving brush. General Electric's. Hamilton Beach. Big Bad Kenmore. The Eureka. The Ohio Tuick. It would throw the switch when you would pull the handle back. And of course, another Torrington. So, ooh, I almost forgot my Hoovers. After the war, Hoover brought out a tank cleaner and a junior model. There's the Hoover Model 50, the first tank they ever made. And here are the juniors. So, there's my vacuum collection. Well, part of it anyway.